Okay, evening folks. We're sitting on Wednesday evening and it is now just after 0700. So got a bit of rain coming down, which we need in our area. We've been pretty dry, so we're thankful and we're blessed for that rain. And they've got rain predicted. Our dams are only about 17-18% full, so not too good. Got a bit of Creedence playing in the background, and coffee's on the boil, so all set for a nice little video session this evening. Okay, what we're going to do, as I said before, we're going to continue with the series this evening on the grasses and trees, and once again, any comments you have, please leave them in, whether they're negative, whether they're positive, no problem. We take them all. We're still fairly new at this whole thing, but as I said before, I'm just imparting my knowledge with you and the things that I've tried over the years. And as I said before, everything's on a budget on this channel. So, and there's nothing wrong with being a cheapskate and then still getting good results, as I've said to you before. Acceptable results, let's put it that way. One thing I want to share with you first, I just want to show you this, a bit of foil. We were talking about a foil and how to make straps. I just want to touch on this quickly because I've opened a new tea bag, a new packet of tea bags this evening. Now this is not the kind of foil you want to use, folks. If you have a look at that, it doesn't hold its shape. It's also a certain kind of foil. So this, I've never used this. You got to get the foil that that can hold its shape. So you're looking at foil like this that can hold its shape like that. Now I've just used some of this the other night, and I'll show you. Let's just get you down here quickly for a second. And what I've done here is I've made a open ammo case to carry for an MG42 or an MG34. So as you can see there, they normally come sealed. I've just started it. I've just made it out of foil. There you can see the ammo belt, just to give you an idea. That's the lid that opens up on a hinge. Now that lid would be hollow obviously, but I'm going to put edging on that and make it look hollow. So I've just got to put a little bit of edging on there, but that's the start. So that now is made out of this foil here. So that'll be for the MG42. I'll show you that as we go along as well. So this is not the stuff that you want to use. We can toss that. So just keep in mind, this is the kind of foil, and you also get the thinner stuff as I've showed you before. Okay, that's just something just on the side, just so that I can mention. Okay, so what we're going to do this evening, I'm going to show you the start of how to do a tree. And please don't ask me what kind of tree it is. You make a tree, whatever you use in the garden, whatever I find for the structure of the tree. The guys that I talk about using armature, wire armatures, you can actually buy them. And oh, by the way, I have Googled, and Woodland Scenics is still very much an online company, and they're still very active. But obviously their prices for my paycheck doesn't support those kind of prices. And I did confirm on there, 15 grams of, well, let's call them oak leaves, whatever, it goes for about 19 pounds. And then some of them they sell in dollars as well, I suppose $16 or $17, whatever the case may be. That's way above my pay grade. So getting back to what we're going to do, and on there they also sell tree armatures, so wire armatures, which you can also make. What you can do, I'll show you later, but tonight we're going to do a simple, show you how I get, basically how I did the tree that I showed you on the previous video. So we're going to push on with that. Let's get on with that. Okay, so what I've got here, this is something I got out of the garden. It could be a weed for all I know. But anyway, what I like about it, it's actually got quite a nice structure. So now what we do here, if we, let's just put that there. If we just nip, let's take, let's see which one we can use. Let's take this one here. So if we nip that off there, okay, have a look at that now. Let's put this aside. So we're going to make a smallish tree. So let's get you down here. So if you have a look at that now. Now what I like about this is that it's got It's got the nice branch structure that comes out here, and it's got these little baubles on the end here, which are quite nice, and these little, so that's where you can put your leaves on, because you don't want the whole thing to look just clumpy and full of leaves. Some trees are like that, but they're not all like that. So you want to see the branches and the trunk, or the stem, whatever you want to call it, the trunk, in between the leaves. So you got to get that effect as best your ability. Now what you can do, if you're finding something in the garden and you're going to use nature, as it were, as this is, you can strengthen this with wire. Okay, that can be done. That's not a problem. So what I would do then, let's just get my box of tricks here, and I'll show you. Okay, I'm just going to show you what you can do. Just bear with me. There we go. Okay, let me show you here what you can do. Okay, this is just a little bit of copper wire. This comes off an armature. I've wound it off. This you can use for a multitude of things. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a piece off here like this. We'll go like that. Now what I'll do is, I'm not going to do it on that one just yet. I'll show you. We're going to cut another piece off here quickly, just to show you there. Okay, now what you can do, you can strengthen the stem by doing this. So you're almost doing like a bonsai type thing, like training the stem. So what you can do, you put it around like that, put it around like that, put it around, and you can go tighter depending how much you want to strengthen it or whatever. Now what you can do, once you've put your wire, I'm just doing it roughly to show you, the tighter you go, the more support you're giving it. Okay, so the tighter your turns, the more support. And once you wet this a bit with wood glue, you can actually then bend this without breaking it, and then it will stay in that position because now it's got the wire support, you see. And and that will keep it like that, the wire support, until the wood glue dries. You see that? Now you can't do that. Now if you had to take, let's just take another one here. So if I had to do that with this one now, then I'd bend it and it would break. You see, so you put the wire support on there, it keeps it like that, and you can do it with branches, whatever, and then you can shape it how you want to. So you don't have to wind the whole thing, just certain areas there or there, however you want to do. If you don't do that, then obviously if you're working with something this small, it's going to break even if you put wood glue on it. Okay. That's just a little tip, that's something. And then you're going to say to me, but how do I hide this? Now all you do is you just get a bit of wood glue. You mix a little bit of maybe a little bit of polyfiller or some type of you can actually even take a bit of baking powder, not baking powder, baking soda, and just mix it with that. You thicken it up, then you paint it over here, and then you'll create like a sort of like a bark effect. So keep that in mind. That's something, we'll get to that. We'll get onto that tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to do a basic tree. Just a straightforward, and this video is going to be the start of the tree. Okay. Right, we're going to push on with that. Let's just put our wire back where it belongs. Okay, hang up that. Just keep our side cutters nearby. Coffee's good. Okay, first of all, we cannot stick our leaves or our parsley. Just get some light on there. We cannot stick our leaves or whatever we've made now, that crushing as I showed you. It's not going to look, it won't make it look full. So you want this area here, from this branch, this is not going to have the leaves on it. This area will have the leaves. That area will have the leaves. So that will have the leaf, that'll have the leaf, and so you go, and then the leaves on the top like that. Now bearing in mind, you've got to get it pretty realistic. So your leaves are going to be fairly clumpy towards the top where the sunlight is, and also they might even be greener where the sunlight is, and then your leaves will be, but we'll get to that point where you can put different colors and different layers. But let's just start with what I call the skeleton of the tree. Stand by a second. Okay, now this is fantastic stuff. You might all recognize this. Okay, this is just a basic, what they call like a pot scourer, as it were. You can buy this in sheets of the stuff, and I just want to see here where my sheet is. Okay, that's how big the sheet was. I just wanted to see now I took the pricing off, but never mind. Now a sheet like that, let's say it's 30 centimeters by 20 centimeters. You buy it. This sets you back. You go to a hardware store, you can buy this. This sets you back. I think I paid about 15 Rand for it, or whatever the case may be. So that'll set you back about 15 bucks for a sheet of this, and this will last you a lifetime. Okay, so what we do there, I just want to show you quickly. Let's just wipe some of that away here. Okay, what I'll show you here. Now what we do is we pull this apart. Okay, you separate it like this. I'll show you now. Look at this. You separate that. You separate that. Okay. Now what you want is that. You want that. You want those pieces off like that. You want the thinner layer like that. Thinner layer like that. Bit of a slow process, but it's fine. You get them off like that. Okay. You want the thin pieces, even like that on the edge there. You pull the thin pieces off. Pull them like that. Okay. And as I said, guys, in actual fact, I actually saw on Woodland Scenics that they sell this stuff. Can you believe it? I mean, this stuff is so cheap. It's just basically a pot scourer. Okay, so now what we do is, okay, we're going to mix up some wood glue. Just bear with me. We're going to mix up some wood glue. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's just get our good old-fashioned wood glue here. Let's open that up. Okay. There we go. Okay, put some wood glue in here. Okay, there we go. Wipe that off. Okay. Got some wood glue there. What we're going to do is we're going to get a stirrer. Got some water here. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in there. That. Might have to add a bit more wood glue. Okay, just mix that up. Now I'm going to show you what you're going to do. Wood glue is fantastic stuff, folks. I use it for everything. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, now we keep that one side. We got our 3 there. Okay. Alright. There we go. Now, as I said, all this stuff, all this stuff is what you can get your hands on at a hardware store. Anything like that. I mean, wood glue, like I've said to you before, a bottle of wood glue like that will last you a lifetime. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want to get one of my helping hands here again. Get it onto there. Okay, let's just get you. I'm going to get you up a little bit here. Sorry about the movement on the camera. Get you a little bit up there. That's it. Get you a bit more. Okay, hope you folks can see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do here now, I'll take that in my hand. In the meantime, we've got our helping hand there. So we're going to get ourselves a brush. Okay, and what we do is we take a bit of wood glue. Okay, we put it on like that. It's going to be a bit messy, but that's fine. You can wipe that up. You put it on there like that. Okay, and what you do is you take some of your and you mold that on there like that. Okay, you get that on there, right? You roll it into like a little ball almost. Some of it will fall off, but you get it. It'll get stuck. It's got to dry. So you just gently go like that, and you put a bit of wood glue. Now the secret here is not to get your natural tree, too wet until it dries, because then it's going to make it too wet, and then the branches will break a bit. So you got to be gentle with this now, and get this. Let's get it onto our helping hand here. Then we can. You just got to be gentle with it. Okay, so we'll do a little bit there, and do a little bit there. It's going to be a bit messy, but that's fine. You can wipe it up. It's water based. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start, and we'll get these inside here. like that. Start gluing it on, and this is how I make my trees, folks. So what you're doing is now you're starting the basis for your leaves. This is your big story here, you see. This is where your leaves are going to eventually go onto. So, and believe it or not, the wood glue, it eventually sets it. So we get it on there. You just got to work with it gently and take your time. Now the pieces that are sort of, you're thinking to yourself, okay, what are these pieces saying? Don't worry about that. Don't stress about that. That we will sort out after this is all dried, and then it's a slow process. But now you see, you get this in here like that. You just gently put it on. You'll turn it over. Okay. We'll get the other side, and then you just trim it with your snips. You see, you just trim it so that you just get a bit of light on there. You just trim it. You folks can see what's going on here. Let's just get it up there a little bit. So you just trim it, and as you trim it, so you just got to get it. That's it. So it's slowly going on. You got one that's fallen off here, but that's fine. You just slowly, it's a process, and eventually they'll stick. You get them on, and you got to be patient. You must remember, folks, modeling, it's a journey. It's not a destination. If your idea, if this to you now, if you want to just get finished, then this is not going to be a process that you're going to enjoy, because this takes time. And guess what? If you take the time, you will get fantastic results. Okay, absolutely fantastic results. Right. Now what we're going to do, let's just wipe up a little bit here. Okay. Wipe up a little bit here. Now, bearing in mind, this is all done. This is all done with stuff that you can get your hands on. All done. I've nothing. You've outlaid nothing here as far as you bought a bit of wood glue, and that's about it. And you've bought some of the scourer, which will last you a bloody lifetime anyway. So, I mean, you could make hundreds of trees, and then you've got some parsley, which is cheap. I mean, it's not that expensive. So you're really operating on a budget. Okay, now we're starting to get an idea of what's going on here now. So we're going to starting to see. Okay, so now we're just going to get a little bit more. And I know this might be a bit tedious, but it's fine. We're getting the idea, and we're starting to get some shape to our tree. Now we need to get something, although that can stay like that, we need to get something in there. So we're trying to get, so we'll get that in there. Okay, there we go, folks. And believe it or not, that's going to dry. Okay, that'll dry like that. Okay, so let's get one down the bottom here now. We'll get one over here like this, and it might look fiddly to you, and it is fiddly, but if you just take the time and the patience, you will see. Okay, right, get that in there. Now you don't have to find every time a tree that or in nature that looks like this. You can be anything. You can make it. You can make your pot scourer stick to anything basically. It doesn't have to have these little like grabbers or whatever like these branches are. You can get, as long as you just get the basics of that pot scourer in there, and you're going to understand once I get to the point when this is dry, you'll understand. Let's just redo this, boy. Then you'll understand what I'm getting at as far as the leaves are concerned. Okay, so then you will see what I'm talking about. So all you need to do is just to get this, and then once this dries, you will see then it's easy to work with. But you've got to let it dry again once again. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to get a little bit of a shape, and we're starting to see an idea where the leaves are going to go. Okay, we need to just get a little bit more, so we must get around. Okay, we got that boy that keeps falling off, but we'll get to him. We'll get to him. There's one on this side here that we're going to get onto. We'll get this one here. We'll get one on this side. And we'll get one on here. Okay. This has now got to dry. So this video tonight is just showing you how to do the start and the basics of it. And then once this is dry, then we'll get to putting the leaves on. And you won't even actually, with this particular one, you won't even have to do anything to the trunk as such, because the trunk's actually quite a nice color, which you can do at a later stage if you want to. Okay, but what you want to do, you just want to get your base, get your okay, this one doesn't want to stick, so we'll try another one on top here. That boy doesn't want to stick, so we'll put a smaller one on there. Let's just separate some stuff here, some spot scourer. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now that chap fell off there, but that's fine. We'll get him on. And let's start with this one here. And eventually they all stick where you're putting them on. So we get it there like that. Okay, so we need that to dry now as it is. We need one more over here, and we need one over there. So let's use some of this wood glue here. Roll this up into a ball. Get that on there. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's get this baby here. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We can maybe dip that boy in there. Get a bit more glue onto him. That one's a bit heavy. So what we'll do is we'll break off there and put a smaller one on. See, there we go. Okay, so now you're getting the idea of what needs. Oh, we need to get one down the bottom here. Now we don't want to. Now this is where it's getting tricky. Now you don't want to move it too much because you also don't want to bump them off. That glue will eventually set. Like that one's fallen off there now, but that glue will eventually set. So we'll just, and that's what we're doing. That's how we do it there. Okay, folks. Now that's actually got to dry. That's actually got to dry. I've got to let that dry. What I'll do is in the interim I'll get the others on, but that's basically what you need to do. So it is actually quite simple when you get down to it. Now once that's dry, once that is completely dry, once all these dry nicely, all the pot scourer, that's when we get down to the leaves. Now then you get a spray bottle, you'll dilute and you'll spray the whole thing, and that's when I'll show you how we put the leaves on, etc, etc, etc. It's actually very interesting. So for the portion of the video tonight that I showed you, that's what we're going to do, and that's quite simple. It's time consuming, make no mistake. It is absolutely time consuming, and it looks fiddly, but your results are fantastic. I think they are. They come out for what you're putting into it, for the materials you're using, etc, etc. On the other hand, you can go and fork out 30 pounds or whatever it is and go and buy yourself 2 trees, and if that. But this is more exciting. Yeah, you're making your own trees, and it's quite an achievement. So folks, for tonight, it's a short vid. That's what I wanted to show you. So if you like the video, hit the like button, and once again, thank you very much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and please share as well. And don't forget to leave the comments if there's anything you think that I can improve on, etc, etc. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Thanks folks, catch you on the next video.